Good morning, everybody. I'm Wayne Campbell, and this is the Driver's Side, Real Drivers, Real Talk. Going to give us a few minutes to some people get up in here. We got a good show this morning on the morning drive with the Driver's Side. We have a guest with us from Nevada Trucking Association, which I actually look forward to talking to the gentleman. We do have friends and family, a big audience here in the Las Vegas area and in the state of Nevada. And that takes me to, I want to thank everybody in the trucking industry and just everybody on the front lines right now that are taking care of us and keeping us alive. Just plain and simple, keeping us alive, especially to my drivers. The trucking industry is everything to us, and that's a given. And I don't know how to control this audio here, but we'll figure it out, guys. We'll figure it out. I think I got that. I think I got that down. Who knows? But hey, here we are. Before we get today's show, before we get there, let's go ahead and not forget we are sponsored by Trucker Tools. Download the app. They do have the COVID-19 useful link button, and they also have the book it now. Just go ahead and read the banner down below. The wife's hooked it up. Just tap the app. It's there for you. And also we are on YouTube. There's closed caption for the deaf truck drivers of the trucking industry. And it's important that they are also involved. And I try to provide a quality show for all drivers. And they can find the Driver's Side over on YouTube. It's the Driver's Side 19, and that's what that is there. So, good morning. I hope everybody's doing okay. I know that people aren't expecting me to go live. This is going to be a daily thing. I will be going live every morning, probably 6 a.m., 7 a.m. I feel like 6 a.m. would be better because, well, the East Coast, that's because I feel like 9 o'clock's a little late. And drivers are pretty much doing their thing. And I just want to make sure that I can reach as many as I can. I don't know why I feel nervous this morning. I'm used to this. I'm home. I'm in the studio. Rob Hallahan's commenting on my post. He should know I'm live. Seriously, Rob Hallahan? Come on, bro. You know, it kills me. He's over there commenting on a post. Oh, he's probably in the watch party. Let's check the watch party. Oh, that's what it is. Rob, come on over to let me pull those comments up because I can see your guys' comments over here, but I can't see the watch party comments. So let me make sure I pull that up, and then we'll get to today's guest. Good morning, honey. I see my wife in here. At least somebody wants to see me. I'm surprised it's her. She looks at me every day. Yeah, we're gonna get to our guest here in a second. I got to pull that up because, well, there's Rob. Trucker Tools crashed when they changed the app and has been garbage all week. Well, I'm going to have to get with Trucker Tools and find out what's going on there, Rob, because that's not okay, because that's who we're sponsored by, and I proudly stand by them. So I will get with them. That's things crashing right now in the trucking industry. The truckers need everything they can right now. So, Rob, thank you for letting me know that, because that is important. You guys can jump over to the live feed over on the Driver's Side. I could post your comments and pin them up so people can see them. Somehow I'm having an audio feedback here for some reason, but here we go. There we go. I'm trying to get this set up. I hope everybody has had a good week. It is Wednesday, hump day. I do miss my granddaughter. Her name is Wednesday. I miss you, honey. And I miss my grandson and my daughter. So, well, we're going to get to today's guest because he's important to the trucking industry, for at least for the state of Nevada. So with no longer ado, I'm going to go in and bring in our guest, Paul Enzo. Good morning,
Enos.
Paul. How are Enos? Why did Enzo?
Hey, it's all right,
bro. You caught me right out the gate. Look at that. You're on top of it. You're on top of it. Go. You know what? Since you're on top of it, I guess we don't really need that big of an introduction. He's got that covered. So you know what, Paul? How are you this morning, first of all?
Hey, I'm doing great, Wayne. Thanks for having me on. And, I would never chosen a, worldwide pandemic to make people appreciate the trucking industry and how important our drivers are. But that is a silver lining. And another silver lining is I've got to meet a lot of people in this industry that I've never known. And so it's nice to meet you over the phone yesterday and here, over the good old live stream.
Right. And I actually, how I found you was Fox 5. I was watching the news when this was going down, and right away Fox 5 was talking about the trucking industry and about drivers. The shelves being empty and the panic buying and all that stuff. And you were one of the ones that they interviewed. How did you feel that they handled it? Let's say that, because they interviewed you,
So
and I felt you answered that greatly.
well, hey, I think they, I think the media has done a pretty decent job, in terms of covering our industry and, understanding how essential our folks are, getting the message out that we don't have an issue, definitely not in the food supply chain. We have plenty of food, trying to get people to stop hoarding. So, I mean, I think they did a pretty decent job. You know, we, hey, we're always, kind of looking back at this in terms of how they covered everything. I think it was great. Do I think that they had a part in creating this panic? Absolutely, I do.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, and that's why I actually go to people that are involved in the industry. This is why I created the driver's side, is to go to people that are involved in the industry and put out information that's useful, and that people that are involved, like you are. So that takes me to actually who you are. You're with the Nevada Trucking
I'm the
Association.
CEO of the Nevada Trucking Association. We've been around. We just had our 88th birthday on the 11th of April. So just turned 88 years old. So founded in 1932. And really, when you think about the time that the Nevada Trucking Association was founded, it was the depths of the Great Depression. And at that time, President Hoover was setting tariffs on everything. So, when you look at when a lot of trucking associations around the country were started, it was during that era. And that was an era where the trucking industry started to get a lot more regulation in terms of tariffs and price control, and having the Interstate Commerce Commission control everything. And that, basically went on for about 50 years. Then we had deregulation in 1980. So that changed the industry. This association has been around through all of that. And I'm very blessed to be I think I'm the fourth CEO of the Nevada Trucking Association over 88 years. I've been here for 15 years. And I couldn't think of a better industry and a better group of folks to represent. I've been absolutely blessed.
Are you strictly for Nevada?
Yeah. So here's how it works. There is a trucking association in every state, and we are charged with representing the industry in the state legislature at the local level. And then we have a federation called the American Trucking Associations, which we work with on a national level. So when I go back to Washington, D.C., I'm working with the folks at the American Trucking Associations, lobbying our Nevada delegation. So it's absolutely a phenomenal relationship. And I mean, I think for me, Wayne, that's the best part of this job, is knowing somebody in every state, being able to work together. When we had the issue last week with the state of Utah, that was going to have a huge impact on Nevada drivers that are going into the Beehive State, who would have to, give their health history. And besides that, I think the most operationally burdensome thing about that issue was they wanted 14 days of travel history. Now, for a truck driver, you come into Utah, you're dropping off a load, you've got 3 hours to fill out 14 days of travel history. Not only is that operationally burdensome, it's unconstitutional. The federal government, Congress, they're the ones charged with regulating interstate commerce, not a president, not a governor, not a mayor. So when I saw that, called my counterpart in Utah, and they were working on some stuff there. Also got on the phone with the folks at the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, Jim Mullen. And I got to say, in terms of having someone in that role who understands this industry intimately, we are so blessed to have the folks in this administration that have that understanding and knowledge of our industry. And, you can kind of see that for the first time since 1938, the FMCSA declared a nationwide suspension of hours of service rules. I mean, that's a pretty amazing thing.
I got a lot of drivers that are just yeah, we can go down that road, but it's crazy what we're seeing. It's something that I've never lived through, that my father's never lived through, and that my family's never seen. And I'm a
Was your old
bloodline
man a truck
driver.
driver?
Yes, I'm a bloodline driver. I come from a history of drivers. I grew up around nothing but drivers. But you said you know, the Utah, and you mentioned state, and you're with the Nevada State Trucking Association. You feel it's important to have these, to attack things at the state level. So because the federal level is a different level. What's
Sure.
the difference between fighting them at going at it at the state level opposed to the federal?
So, for me, I want Nevada to be as seamless from the rest of the country as we can be. So I don't want Nevada to have greater restrictions than any of our neighbors. We're a state that is very liberal size and weight laws, and I mean that's good for our industry. That's good for our customers to be able to move doubles and triple trailers, longer combination vehicles. So we are very blessed to have a state that understands truck productivity, and that's something that is in law. This last legislative session, we negotiated with the High Patrol and DMV, who didn't like the fact that those longer combination vehicle permits could be transferred from truck to truck because they had folks gaming the system. So we said, okay, you know what? We'll work with you on that, but we can't deal with the costs that they're currently at. So we were able to get a reduction in the cost of those permits by 66%. So,
Nice.
those are the kind of things that, we do, that we work in the legislature to do. But really my main goal is making sure that Nevada isn't sticking out, in red, that we are a tough state or a barrier state. We have some issues that we try to work through. But Wayne, I've been a lobbyist for 24 years. I've been in the state legislature, working in this kind of environment. I've never seen government at all levels as responsive to our issues as they have been. So I do think that's another blessing. We have a weekly Zoom meeting with the DMV, the High Patrol, NDOT, FMCSA, because right now everybody's got a lot of questions. What do you do when these things are closed or operating on a skeleton crew? Can I get my permits? Can I, can I still register my trucks and trailers? So we've been doing this on
Almost everything comes into question.
that's right. But what's been neat about our association, and something that we do, we want to be that conduit for information and making those folks available to be able to answer questions and solve any problems as they arise, because it's not like you can go into the DMV anymore.
Right. So here's my question, because that's a lot of work. The political level, the politics within the truck industry alone it's just I couldn't imagine. It makes my head explode. I like to get in my truck. I used to get in my truck and shift and just do my thing. So I got a lot of friends that are here. I have a friend named Brandon and his dad named Scott Dreshauser. I cannot say his name for anything, but his father basically carved out Las Vegas, and he's a rock hauler. And then his son now owns a heavy haul company here in the state of Vegas. What are the benefits that the Nevada Trucking Association offers to companies like that?
So, we give information. That's one of our best conduits. And, we're a member driven organization. So if there is an issue with a law or a regulation and our members say, hey, we don't like this, we want to change that, we want to fix it, we want to make it easier for our industry to operate, that's what we do. So, collectively, we're a lot more powerful than one company. The thing I love about this industry, it's comprised mostly of small businesses. And small businesses don't have the wherewithal to go out and hire a lobbyist or have somebody to answer information on all the rules and regulations and laws that are out there. So that's what we do. And we take input from our members. And go and advocate on their behalf to change rules that, are beneficial to our industry. And I'm going to say this, we never advocate for something that's going to make us, unsafe, that's going to, make the roads unsafe. That's not what we do. We don't fix tickets, but if there's something wrong, absolutely, we'll go and advocate for them. We have phenomenal relationships with, as I call them, our partners in safety, from NDOT to the DMV to the High Patrol to FMCSA. And we try to advocate what our collective members want to do. And when I look at our membership, it's so diverse. I mean, I've got UPS and FedEx. I've got, big Nevada companies here. ITS Logistics, Truline Corporation are the biggest trucking companies that are based in Nevada. I've got heavy haulers. I've got rock haulers. I've got hay guys. I've got guys that serve the mines.
There it is.
So what's that?
There it is, the mines.
The mines.
You brought that up to me yesterday, and I thought that was
I'm
interesting.
I'm a mining kid. Mining has a big place in my heart. Not as big as trucking right now, but still a big place in my heart. My old man was a gold miner in Elko. Born and raised in Elko.
That's cool.
I mean, I've got a big place in my heart for rural Nevada, but so much respect for what our members do in every part of the state. Got a couple of heavy haul members that were moving things in for ConExpo, and the sheer magnitude of what they were requiring in terms of loads being moved in and out and having to navigate the hours of service laws. That was a challenge. But, you look at what we do in Las Vegas, what drivers do in Las Vegas, servicing trade shows and conventions. And I say a prayer every night that we can get back to some kind of normal.
It scares me.
See that activity start to pick up soon after we're past this
pandemic. It scares me. You said it though. The state of Nevada and Vegas, we're huge with trucking, with paving companies. I mean, we got big unions, we've got heavy haulers, we got conventions, we got restaurants, we got casinos. I mean, we're just huge. We depend on the trucking industry like crazy. We're a consumer state on top of that. Let me get to the next question. You know what? Do you think Nevada will become the new mecca for freight, and what new regulations and taxes might transpire if that happens? Because with California being the way it is and how highly it's regulated, and Nevada, I feel, is a little looser, and with all the building and everything going on with the Amazons and all this coming into Nevada, are we finally going to see a turn and start becoming a shipping state besides a consumer state?
So it's really interesting when you look at Reno and Las Vegas, totally different markets. Vegas has a market about 5 times bigger than Reno. But when you look at the freight volumes, for outbound freight in Reno are higher than Vegas. Inbound is about the same, which, is kind of crazy. So we have different economies, right? In Northern Nevada, we've got a much bigger manufacturing base that is, whether it's making hoses or truck stacking or batteries for Tesla, that's manufacturing that takes place in Northern Nevada. We've got a lot of agricultural commodities. We've got mines. So Northern Nevada has kind of been a hub for the trucking industry and warehousing and distribution for quite a while. Las Vegas is more of that consumer market. You're absolutely right. And the soap, the sheets, everything that you need to ensure that those used to be, hopefully it gets back up there, 43 million visitors a year, have what they need to have a great vacation while they're here. We don't have a lot of outbound freight in Vegas. Now we're starting to see some of that change. You're right, with the distribution centers, with Amazon, looking at putting hubs. We have one in Northern Nevada, in Vegas. So we are seeing some more of that. The problem with Las Vegas is there's not a lot of available land, and the land that's there is very expensive. So that's why I think Vegas has a little more challenge than some of the other parts of the state. I have one of my board members, truck parking, that big issue for our industry. That's
There it
something that
is.
we've been working on. And I'm very proud to say, we've been working with NDOT for the last decade on truck parking. We got truck parking as part of the freight plan, working with the folks over there at NDOT. This year, we're scheduled to put $7 million into truck parking statewide. And I'm really proud of that because not a lot of other states can say that they have that kind of investment going into truck parking. I have a member who's got a facility in Henderson and a facility in Arizona.
It's
for
important.
him to build the same footprint of truck parking. I don't remember if it's 10 acres or 20 acres. In Arizona, it cost him $3.5 million. In Las Vegas, it'll cost him $10 million.
Right.
So
And
little
that's
different.
and that's something that's important for the trucking industry is parking because, along with safety, that's part of being safe is finding a good safe place to park when you need it. So but do you think you being involved in all the regulations and fighting regulations and stuff like that? Do you feel that Nevada could ever become as strict as California?
Absolutely. Before this pandemic was coming down, I was looking at a myriad of policies suggested by our state division of environmental protection that would implement a lot of those California standards here in Nevada, in terms of those environmental standards. So that's something that I've been looking at and spending a lot of time and, honestly, spending a lot of the association's money too to have an economic analysis on those things done. So not only can I go and speak to our lawmakers about it, but also, tell our industry what kind of impact it would have on them. And then also communicate that to the public. One of the, once again, one of the silver linings with this crisis that we're in is normal people now have a greater understanding of supply chains and how absolutely essential the trucking industry, our truck drivers, the folks working in the warehouse, the techs, the truck stops, how essential all of those folks are into sustaining what you and I do every day, right? Going to the grocery store, going to Home Depot, God forbid, going to a hospital, right?
That's why I love my truckers. We depend on them for everything, and I know what they actually mean to us, to the core. Even outside of a pandemic, it's every day down to if you touch it, a trucker brought it. The only thing they don't deliver is babies. As of now, but that could change the way things are going. All right, so we've been going on a while here, so I'm gonna go ahead and close it out with you because I got some other stuff to get to. So I want to ask you, where can truckers find? Where can my local drivers and people find you? Because we need people like you in this industry. We need people to that make sure that we're okay here in Nevada as far as the trucking industry goes.
You can find me on Twitter, PJE_NV Trucks. You can find us on the web, and that's nevadatrucking.com. Through this whole craziness, I put my cell phone out there, so everybody's got my cell phone. I'm taking calls. We're doing things like securing masks. My family and I have been putting hand sanitizer in these little bottles.
Nice.
Calm and truck on, right?
Right. There you go.
We've been given to our drivers to make sure that they have those things that will keep them safe and healthy. So, go to nevadatrucking.com. If you want to reach out to me, you can ping me on Twitter. You can ping me on my email. All my info is up there, and always happy to help. Even if you're not a member through this crisis, we're providing information to everyone. Love to get you as a member in the future. We've got over 560 companies of all sizes, from your one truck owner operators all the way up to UPS and FedEx. So proud to represent an industry that is as diverse as the entire economy.
Well, I appreciate you, Paul. And look, I know a lot of truckers here in Vegas, so we'll be talking about you, and I'll be talking and reaching
And
out
hey,
to you soon.
here's what I'm going to tell you too, Wayne.
What's that?
We canceled one of my favorite events that we do to recognize the drivers, and that's the Truck Driving Championships. We're going to have it on April 24th at Stations Casino down in Las Vegas. We have canceled that. We've canceled the event for 2020, but I do want to let everybody know we are going to be doing some things to say thank you to all of our drivers, recognizing all of our drivers everywhere in the state. So, you know, we're talking about how that would work and what that would look like. But, you know, I think it is very important for our association to recognize the men and women that really make this industry move and make this nation's economy move. And, you know, I'm saying a prayer every day that we're going to get back to normal soon.
Well, I'm about to talk about this here in a minute with my audience, and because the boss was on TV yesterday talking about loosening things up. So hopefully we'll get back to normal. Because I tell you this,
well, which boss? Because we got different bosses.
The one that sits in that big white house on the hill that I know of. The only one that I'm paying attention because, well, you know, because there's a lot. He said a lot yesterday. I'm going to get to that. Paul, I cannot thank you enough for being here.
Hey, very nice to meet you, my friend. And look forward to meeting you in person.
I plan on shaking your hand actually pretty soon.
Yeah, likewise. Maybe we'll go down to SNS, have some nice barbecue.
There. He knows what he's talking about. He mentioned SNS. Peace out, Paul. We'll talk to you later, brother.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye. Well, that's Paul from the Nevada Trucking Association. And it's important that there's associations out there and there's things for you guys to be a part of that fight for you. Okay. Because I'm not here to fight for drivers' rights. It takes men like that. I'm not here to do it. I want to go trucking. I don't want to deal with regulations. I don't want to do that. That's why I kind of pretty much don't sit in the seat anymore because, well, they just stripped the heritage right out of it with and put it back with regulations. Say that all day long. I cannot thank you guys enough for being here. I appreciate you, Paul. And shout out to Hallahan Transport, Herdrich Express Line. I got it right, babe. Herdrich Express Lines. I see you guys. Renee Anderson, I appreciate you. I love you, honey. I love that you post that smile every day. It makes me and the wife feel really good over here. So I'm back. Sorry, guys, that I have not been myself this past month. I don't think really anybody has, right? Have they, honey?
No, a lot's been going on.
Right? It's been crazy. It's been crazy. Justin Speece, I see. Where you at? Where you guys at? What's some 20s here? I mean, where you guys trucking at? I mean, I see that we ain't got many people here today, but that it is what it is. It was a good interview, I thought. I thought it was a great interview. You know, it's important that we put out good information, Renee. And I'm trying to do a decent job over here. You know, where's John Herdrich? Where are you guys at? Renee, where are you at? I know your industry is getting ready to come. I know you're part of the industry is getting ready to come to a screeching halt if it already hasn't. Car haulers ready to go through some hell. I know that. Huh, Renee? How you doing? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody got a good load under their butt and that they're doing okay. I didn't plan on going that long on that interview, man. He was a great interview. So I kind of got away from me. Oklahoma, Rob Hallahan's at home. Of course he's at home. All right, Rob, tomorrow morning. How about you join me tomorrow morning? Is it really slow, Renee? That sucks. Rob, how about you join me tomorrow morning for the morning drive at the driver's side? All right. We can talk about what we're going to do on Sunday. Maybe we can come up with something on Sunday. If I can get you to even talk. My God, babe, it's like pulling teeth out of that guy. You know what I'm saying? You get him on the phone. He can talk. He'll talk your ear off. Put him on camera. He throws those hands behind his head, and he's like, "Huh? Yeah, doesn't work for me. Works for me. Doesn't bother me." That guy, I love that guy. John Herdrich, how you doing? You know, let's see, I need to get a show together for Sunday, guys. I think we're going to talk a little bit about this pandemic that I think is coming to. Here's the deal. President got on the phone or got on the TV yesterday. I got on the phone with the president yesterday. I was going to say I got on the phone with the president. No, I can't let everybody know that I'm talking to the president. Anyway, I saw the president on TV yesterday, and he was talking about opening some states up. And I mean, I guess I feel like that's. I mean, what do you guys feel? Is that a good move? Is it? I mean, not all states are going through whatever like New York's going through and California's going through, right, honey? How do you feel about that, babe? How do you feel about the president starting to open up some state? If we start opening up the country back up already,
I agree that there's certain states that should be allowed to, as long as that they follow precautions. There's a lot of states in the Midwest and the middle part of the country that haven't really been affected by this. I mean, it's spread. It started on the coast from the east and west coast and kind of worked its way in, but there's quite a few states, and they have been unemployed and sitting at home when there's not really a need for it. If they take certain precautionary measures, they should be fine. However, they just have to really make sure as far as containing it and watching it and how fast if any new cases develop. But if you get those people back unemployed, you're going to get some of those people off of unemployment. You're going to reduce the stress from there. So
I agree,
that
babe.
some of them.
You know what Rob Hallahan said, right?
Just now he said, "Yeah, I'm a listener."
No, open it all up. Rob's like, hell, hey, let's go trucking. I need them trucks moving. I believe Rob's trucks are at home right now. I believe freight is still crap on them load boards. I think that's still hell. But I agree, honey. I mean, I agree, like what Renee Anderson said over here. She says, depends on which states. I mean, if we could get some states open, we can get some things moving and we can contain the area, I guess I don't see why we can't. I mean, we could put men on the moon, right? Put people in space. Why can't we contain a little state? I mean, we keep countries at bay.
Right, and he did mention yesterday, very briefly talking about closing certain state borders. That's kind of like Utah. You have a tracking device when you enter Utah of the border, which obviously the drivers are exempt from. They can just ignore the text message. But for you and I, if we decide to go into Utah just across the border because we're going to go, for whatever reason, that we're going to go into Utah.
Yeah, you're going to get that text message.
We'll get the text.
Right.
And we have to fill that out and declare that we are not sick. So I think as far as that, he had mentioned something as far as closing some of the state borders to try to contain the cross movement as much as possible. But to get each state up and going for the economy. The economy is crap.
Well, I think he started going to that business mode. Our president's a businessman. He's a business-minded man. He's built companies. He has companies. He's got a lot riding on the economy.
Right.
So he wants to get things back just as much as Rob Hallahan does.
Right.
I think let's see what Rob said. Since January 2020, since January, I guess he tried to say, here's the funny thing, Mr. Listener's over here commenting like crazy. Since January 2020, COVID deaths and seasonal. I get that. Okay, are we going to Bill Gates too quick control? We're going to go to the who's sick and what killed who. At the end of the day, are we okay with anybody dying? I mean, I get it. I mean, but that you know what? I'm not even going to go to that. So is it even real then? You know what I'm saying? You got these people saying it's 5G that's doing it.
Oh, there's all kinds of conspiracy theories.
This might not even be a virus, Rob. It might be the 5G.
There's all kind of theories. The bottom line is yes, it is a flu, and that most people, that the recovery rate is 98% recovery rate for the majority of people. However, there are people who are susceptible, and that's what everyone has to remember, is that it's not just about themselves, that they would probably be fine. However, if they got it and they gave it to someone else who wasn't as healthy and didn't know it, and then found out later that they did, and that person passed away, how would they feel if they found out they're the ones who gave it to them and that person contracted it and died?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, I could. Here's my thing: is I could start analyzing all this,
Right.
we got too much time on our hands. We need to get back to being normal. I want people to stop dying. I don't want to see comparisons. I want to see us back to shifting and twisting. People earning money, people not laid off anymore. Because do we go with the it's just like with the extra money for the unemployment, honey. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they shouldn't get it. They should get it. What I just want to get back, and I hope that if they do start making moves and do start opening things back up, that it's going to be safe for the drivers, for everybody, because it really sucks. Even outside of the deaths, look what it's done to the economy. Look what it's done to people's homes. I mean, it's people. It's just really, really, really taking a toll on everything. She's over there typing and tapping. So, but let's go to Marshall Harding. I have missed a lot of your interviews and would like to know if people will forget about us truck drivers when it's back to the way it was before this pandemic, or if the people will have a little more appreciation for what we do. And I'm asked that a lot, actually. I'm asked that all the time. And I think that some will appreciate it, and some it will go right back to what it was, or if not, possibly even a little worse, because what's happened in this process is a lot of people haven't been appreciated for a long time. And it's been proven with the layoffs and with the people being stripped of what they've been stripped of, like their health insurance, their vacation time that they've rightfully earned. They're not going to be happy. I think that people need to start talking to each other, and the lack of appreciation for each other needs to stop, and everybody needs to start appreciating each other more. Is it going to go back to people not appreciating truck drivers? And the spotlight will be off them? Yes, it will. But it doesn't mean that we can't keep the spotlight on us. It's just certain. I think there's certain ways that it could start getting better if we're proactive in this industry as a whole. Unity is huge. Without unity, you're not going to have any respect for each other or from anybody, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I hate, it pisses me off that people treat drivers the way they do. But I have to look at the whole situation, and it can't just be about the drivers right now. It has to be about everybody, because, everybody's going through it. Nobody asked to be laid off. Drivers didn't ask to be not appreciated. Drivers, for the most part, are very, very respectful people. They just want to do their job in a safely manner, and they need the space in their job space, the safe space in their job place, and they don't get it, and they just get disrespected. They become more of an inconvenience to the general public, which, man, you can get me going, which is not okay, because they're everything to us. And that's what they need to remember when they get back on that highway and they see that truck and they're back to normal. It's not in their way. It's what they have everything they need. Not that it's in their way. Is they're there to do a job, and it's to provide for them. And we go back and forth with that, but I mean, just make sure I don't want to get on my soapbox. Rob's throwing out numbers now. I don't know what Rob's talking about. What's 9? I don't know. What do you say? Rob, he has his hands in everything. I think, yeah, he does. If that's what you're saying, Justin. See where we're at. I kind of lost track of the comments here. Anyway, but I'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. All right, drivers? Yeah?
Yeah, I think 6 is good.
6 is good? You guys like 6?
Drive.
Huh?
It's the
Morning drive at the driver's side?
Yeah.
Daily? And then?
Well, Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday. And yeah, Saturday, I'm taking Saturdays off.
And then Sunday you have.
I'm taking Saturdays off because that's even when things go back to normal, that will be our family day.
And then
Saturdays are our family day.
Better the industry.
And then, right, she's such a great producer, and she's just I love the way she runs shit. But we will be back. We will be Sunday nights, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Every Sunday night, we have For the Better of the Industry, which anybody is welcome to be on. It's as easy as sending you a link. We can have up to 6 people on at the same time. I'm also going to be on, I think it's Independent Truckers Broadcasting Network tomorrow night. I think I'm on their show tomorrow night. So, but I'll probably feed it up to ours. Betty Taylor, how are you? Jonathan, thank you, sir. Rob Hallahan, I appreciate you, brother. Justin Spees, John Herdrich, Rob, the guy that just listens and then comments, but does this on the show. I love that guy.
He says things when he needs to say them.
Right. Who do you got over here in the watch party? How you doing, Robert Martin? Renee Anderson, I appreciate you. All you guys, I appreciate you. Gary, I appreciate you. What's going on, Gary? Good to see you in here. I got your address. I got some shirts I got to give out, guys. I'm going to close this out here in a second, but I will be back tomorrow morning. Digger, I see you. Gary, get a hold of me. We can have you on, maybe on in the morning, just to show the appreciation to you, brother. I want to send you that shirt and get to know you a little bit. Maybe have you on the show, the morning drive. Anybody can be on anytime. You guys just get a hold of me, shoot me a message on the Driver Side's page. You can call me. There's a number on the Driver Side page. There's the actual phone number for the Driver Side for the Pure Heart Productions office. So you can get a hold of me there. Or just shoot me a message, guys. You can be on the show anytime. I appreciate everything you do for us. You are the heartbeat of America. You should be treated like the heartbeat of America. And remember, always keep your shiny side up, rubber side down to make money in the truck industry. Keep your left door closed.